Hello everyone, this is Lori from Grammy's Keepsakes, and we're working on our lap books. This is part 2, and I want to introduce you to the kit that I'm using. It's for Artzology, and I will leave the link in the description box below. The name of this kit is Assemblage. Hopefully I pronounced that right. But you get 8 sheets, beautiful, beautiful graphics, all done in collage. This is going to be great in my lap books. Beautiful colors. Look at the detail. It's just wonderful. And here's numbers. I love that. And that pop of pink. So gorgeous. And this is the last one. And then you also get 3 background sheets. This pretty one, this beautiful green, and this yellow. Then I also got 2 pages of circles, and these are 2-inch circles. And this is an add-on to the kit, this particular piece. And they're just little snippets of the collage pages. They're going to be fun to use. And 2 pages of ATC cards. And file folders, and there's 4 pages of those using the collage again. Aren't they beautiful? I just love them. And I've printed them on photo paper. And then you get 3 pages of tags. And these are all printed full size. So you need to go to Artzology and check that out. She's got some wonderful, wonderful kits. I'm going to put this ephemera aside for now. We won't be using those today, but we're going to be using some of these. We're going to have some fun. Let me put them aside so they're handy, and so that I don't drop everything. Okay, so yesterday what we did was we covered this set of books to make our lap book, and I put a piece of fabric down on this wide hinge, and I set eyelets and strung elastics for a little traveler's notebook type folder. And I've started to construct it, but I wanted to take you along and catch up on the other one. So I just am using these brown manila folders that they're used. So I'm using those. Get those set back. And I have cut this to fit inside, which is 9.5 inches, and then 6.5, and then I folded this over for a pocket. And so, nice big roomy pocket. This is a graphic 45 tag of a die that I have, and I just cut some tags that we might use. And then I've coffee dyed some 11 by 17 paper, and I've got ledger paper, and some straw paper. This beautiful old ledger. It's numbered, and so I couldn't bear to cut it off, so I folded it so we could have the numbers. And I used brown waxed linen cording. So it's just a simple little journal because we don't want it to take up too much space. And with this part of the flap that was going to be either another pocket, or I decided to make it a closure. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm using gears and sprockets for my buttons so that we're going to close those. And it will fit just right inside, so it's removable. Like that. So let's get caught up with the other one. I coffee dyed some cotton quilting fabric, and this is just a newspaper text. And I have a piece ready to go. And I want to get this put in so it can start drying. And I just ripped it so that they're straight grains, and it's about a 1/2 inch wider on both sides, and it doesn't go all the way to the top or all the way to the bottom. And I'm going to use this 3-in-1 glue. And I don't want it to bleed through, so I'm using it very sparingly. Okay, so I've got a little ring around the outside of that, and now I'm just going to put some on this spine portion. And a little bit here on the edges. And find the right way up. And place it on there. I'm stretching it a little bit so that I don't get any wrinkles and it's taut. I didn't want to use paper because with the folding can sometimes buckle and add a lot of extra thickness that I didn't want, where the fabric is more forgiving. So we're going to let that dry a little bit and go ahead and get the crocodile out and get the right size buttons ready to go. Okay, that's going to be good. That's ready. And let's get our eyelets ready. And I'm going to use the 3/16 eyelets. And let's see how that, you know, that might be cool. The black, well, the black is sharp too. Let's go ahead and use the black. So I need 4 of those out. We're going to slip them up here so I don't knock them on the floor yet. And I made myself a template. And let's use this side. And I'm going to use a white chalk pencil. And it's just a fine art pencil. And I want my eyelets a 1/4 inch from the top. And this line and this line is what I'm going for. So I'm centering my cardboard between them. And so it doesn't get too confusing, I'll put the 6 in the beginning because that's the centering mark. Okay, and I got my 1/4 inch. Let's move that down a little bit so I can get my pencil in there. And I'm just going to make a mark and another mark. With this white pencil, it is erasable, but I can see it on this dark color. Now we're going to flip this around so we have access to the other side. And we're going to do it again. And you've got a better angle of the ruler than I do. Hopefully that's near 1/4. And centering this, pull it down and make our mark. Get rid of the pencil. And now we're going to punch our holes. I'm going to wrap this up a little bit. Try to make it easy. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I have marked there's guides on the crocodiles so that you don't go too deep in. So I have set those guides where I want the eyelets to be. It just has a little turn button screw that lets you move the gauge. Try to get it so you can see. And putting that white mark inside the hole and punch. And then grab my little pokey tool to clean out the hole. I need to be able to see. And we're going to do it again. And the reason I have the holes punched at this far apart is so that the journals can go inside each little fold. Okay, ready to do it again on the bottom. Okay, we've got 4 holes all punched. Let's check this side out. See if we have to do any trimming. I think we're going to be good. So let's go ahead and set those eyelets and get that cording strung. Gets to be a big tangled thing. I'm not used to working with books this big. And in my little space, but we can do it. So they look good on the outside. Let's check out the inside. They feel great. Okay, now we're going to use, I have 2mm elastic cording from Doris. I got this on Amazon. I'm going to use the black. I've got it in a cream or off-white color also, but we're going to go ahead and use black. And I just unwound a length, more than I need. I'm just going to go down one of the holes. This is the inside of the journal. And come back up. And we're going to go down and come back up. And stretch it. I want it taut. go ahead and cut off that end. Get that out of our way. And now I want to tie it. So I just want a lot more room and just wrap it around. And I'm leaving it kind of loose so we can make sure that we're good. It's wonderful. Okay. Now, let's make our little journal to go inside this one. What I want to do is measure from eyelet to eyelet, and this one is about 9 3/8. Each one is a little bit different, so that's so I've got my file folder here, and it's got some writing on it that I thought was cool, so I want to use that. So I'm going to go ahead and measure 9 3/8. I think I'm going to add an extra 1/16 of an inch so that the cover is a little bit bigger than the pages. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut that. And let's see how it works. It looks good. I may trim it just a little tiny bit because I don't want it to bind. Oh, all my goodies are falling out of my little container. Exciting. Okay, let's pop that out. And we'll put it aside. And I'm going to trim just a smidge off. Technical terms for smidge, right? And then I have done some prepping, but let me tell you what I did. I had this folded and I scored it at 6 1/2. Let's burnish it down. And this is going to be my little pocket in the front. So I'm just going to use art glitter glue on these short edges. Get that drying. And then for this side, I folded it this way and I scored at 6 1/2, 6 5/8, 6 3/4, 6 7/8, 7, 7 1/8, and 7 1/4. So I've got 3/4 of an inch of roll space here. So we'll go ahead and, because this is heavy file folder, I'm going to go ahead and score it again. Makes it easier to fold. And I've got my fun little numbers. So we don't need the scoreboard. And so now we're folding against these mountains. So just fold it over, and I want to fold on each little score mark. But I'm not going to burnish those. We're just going to give them a fold so they curl. It will roll around our journal. So now it looks like this. And I've got some papers ready to go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages. So that's going to be 32 writing sides plus the covers. But I need to trim these down to be the right height, because right now they're too big. So I'm going to just go ahead and give those a quick trim. That one's good. And of course, let me put these in upside down so that they get in the order. Because they're coffee dyed, they don't like to stay together. That's why I'm trimming them separately. And they'll be a little bit different lengths, which is perfect. I would have done this earlier, but I didn't know where my eyelets were going to be yet. So here we have our pages. And let's see if I guess the right width. That will work. All right. Find my center. And my journal pages or ledger pages that I got from Antique Ledgers, they have a top and a bottom, so I want to make sure I've got those in correctly. And this is going to be my top. And I'm just going to use a couple of bulldog clips. Get it seated into the corner into the center as much as I can. And I'm going to use a little ruler to find my centers. And I'm going to put a mark at the center and 1 inch from the top and 1 inch from the bottom. So those are just a mark so that now I can fold it, put my pokey tool into the mark, fold it, and come through the hinge. And I'm going to use this brown waxed thread. And I'm going to go just over 2 lengths. I don't need very much for this. So we're going to go ahead and put that into the center. And onto one of the ends. Sure, I just poked the hole and now I can't find it. What's the luck of that? Oh, fell in. And I'm going to go all the way to the other end. I'm going to hold this and go back down that center hole. Being careful not to stab this. We don't want it pierced. And I want 1 thread on each side of this center. And so now I'm just pulling it taut. And we're going to tie it. And we're going to tie it one more time. And trim off the extra. And I'm just using my bone folder to push down the waxed linen thread. It kind of helps lock it in. You don't need the clips. And by going through each page and pressing it, they open up nicer. Okay, now we need closures on this. And I've got a whole bunch here. And these are just some gears and cogs that I thought might be fun. Let's see, which one did I use? We have to finish this one too. We need another one over there. I used that one for this one. So let's use a different one. Helps eliminate. And these I love, but they're going to add too much thickness. So I'm eliminating those. And I do want them to kind of match, I think. Do I have another one of these? Do you see it? I like this one. Of course, right? Nope. I don't see it. Well, eliminate that one. Kind of like that. Or this smaller one. Oh. How about that? Do I have another one of those? Okay. Well, this doesn't need to be this hard, does it? These are those thick ones. Thick ones won't work. I like this one. Of course, right? These are cool. These have got really big holes. I'm going to eliminate the really big holes in the center because I have to use a bigger brad, and that will give me too much thickness again. Those are cool too, but I'm not going to use them. Those are boring. I like that, and I like this. I wish I could hear you so you could tell me which one you like. Well, that doesn't need to be this hard, does it? I think this one. You know what? Let's go with the bigger one. We're living dangerous today, right? Okay, I need to get that ruler again and a pencil. And we need to find our centering again. And and make our mark. That's going to go there. And that's going to go there. So what I need to do now is poke a hole for this top one all the way through. And what I've done is canceled a couple of small little eyelets, and that's going to be my spacer. And poke this brad right through. Open up the legs. Okay, let's round this corner down here. I'm going to use a 1/2 inch. Okay, and we're going to put a brad here, or a little button there too, but let's use some of our pretty paper. And we're going to just center it right into the middle. They're also nice. I don't know what to use. I don't want the postcard. I don't want to cut the postcard in half. So we're going to save that one for a different project. But I'm thinking this one. Isn't that fun and busy? Because inside our journal, we've got all of these ledger pages. So let's use ledger. So what I want to do is trim the white off. Excellent. Let's use this 1/2. So what I'm going to do to find my 1/2 the easy way is just go ahead and fold it, make a little mark, and now I'm just going to cut it. The beauty of the printables is you can print as many as you'd like. Oh, I'm going to love that. Okay, let's go ahead and ink around the edge just so that we knock off that white from the paper. And grab a book, a glue stick, got a new Oohoo, and just go ahead and glue this whole thing up. It goes on blue, dries clear. I love that part of it. So I'm just going to kind of center it a little bit, and I'm bringing it closer to this side than this because this is going to come over. Let's go ahead and just stick it down. Here we have that obstinate ledger page again. Let's just burnish that, see if that'll help us. Oh, I got a little part coming up. Missed a corner. I'm just going to use some art glitter glue on that. Sneaking that art glitter glue in is just easier than trying to get the glue stick back up underneath there. Okay, now place our little cog and grab, I'm going to use a black ink pen so I can see my mark. Because we did mark it on here, but then I covered it up so you can't see it. So I'm going to go ahead and punch my hole through again. And we're going to grab our cog and a spent eyelet, and I need another fastener, brad, and I'm using a Tim Holtz long fasteners. Just grab a couple of those out so I've got them. And I need to find a little jar to put these in. I tend to dump things over in a rush, so I'm going to seal it back up right away so I don't have eyelets all over or brads all over the floor. So the brad going through the cog, through the little eyelet, and then into the hole. And we're going to push that down. And then I've got some 1-inch circles punched out of cardstock, but let's go ahead and glue that down over the top of that brad. I think we're going to put some more of our pretty paper in here, but in the meantime this will protect everything from, so that the brad legs don't rip our paper. Good. Now we're going to grab some of this brown waxed thread . And tie it around there a couple of times. It's kind of fun that they turn, isn't it? So that got tied. I'm going to snip this off. And I'm just going to, well, let's wrap it a couple times. And give it a snip. And then just go ahead and tie the end. You can put a little charm on that. You know what? I've got just a few, don't I? Let's use one of these. You can put a bead or just a knot or nothing at all. And then I'm just going to cut off some of the excess. Okay, let's get these back in that little... Oh, that's cute. I like it. And then we can decorate this too. We can have lots of fun with it. But let's go ahead and get this one caught up. Oh, one thing I was going to do on, we didn't cover that brad there. I'm going to use those pretty circles for that. Two pages. We've got a lot to choose from. And I think I'm going to cut it down smaller than it is. Oh, I don't know which one to use. I really like them all. Oh, here we go. This is the one I want. And we'll go around it with our ink. Kind of crafting by the seat of my pants today. I'm usually a little more prepared and planned out. But we're crafting, and that's all that's important. So we're going to put this right there. So I'm going to go ahead and put some art glitter glue on that. And that's going to help anchor our brad legs down. And then nothing will get caught on them also. Let's go ahead and put it in our book and see how it looks. I will clip these threads later, or the little ends, after I'm sure that I didn't make them the wrong length. Because it leaves a little bit of adjusting room if I leave it long for right now. And then as it gets thicker, we've got room for growth. Oh, I just love that. Kind of steampunky, kind of like industrial revolution type things. I love it. It's going to be great. We're going to put some fun stuff here too. So this is going like this. Let's get this other one caught up so we're all together. And so now what I need to do is glue a piece onto here. And where did I set that other half? I just had it. And that's the way I am. I lose everything. They're under piles of stuff. My hands can't keep up with my mind. Well, we just may have to, oh, I found it. I was going to say we may have to cut another one. And maybe we'll like a different one better anyway. Because we want it to show up. That kind of blends in too much. Let's use this for a different size. Oh, that one right there. That's what I want. I'm going to trim off the white margins on this page. My printer does not print edge to edge. It leaves me that little tiny bit, not quite a quarter of an inch around each page. But that's pretty typical. And now let's go ahead and do our little cheat again and fold it in half to make a mark. And then we can cut it. This one. Let's hit the edges again. Oh, awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and put some glue stick on the back. Trying to make sure I got my corners this time. Kind of centering it from top to bottom and bringing it more over to the left edge than the right. And now we need to make our mark for this little guy. Got him right there, handy. Grab my ink pen again. and go ahead and punch my mark. And we need a brad. And a spent eyelet. And we're going to go ahead and just use art glitter glue again to put this little disc on there. Would be nice if my pocket covered it, but it doesn't. So we're going to work with it. We may come back, you know, and decorate and put in some more of our pretty paper in over it. Wouldn't that be pretty? I think we'll do that. But we're going to save all that for another. So now let's go ahead and get our black cord or brown cord. And snip off some extra. Wrapping it around a few times so that I've got enough. And let's grab another one of those little cogs. I suppose you could get all fancy and put a jump ring on it, but I think I like it simple like this. And cut off my extra. Get rid of these. Right, let's get our journal or our lap book and let's put it inside and close her up. Where is the center? There it is. We knew it had to be here somewhere, right? Okay, so there's our fun journal in this book. Now tomorrow what we're going to do is put our fabric strips here. After, we're going to put the closure. I've been waiting for those inside fabric strips because we're going to put the closure in here, and I'm going to use a swing hasp, and I need the brads for the construction to be hidden inside here, and then we'll put the fabric over the top, and then we can carry on. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. Thank you everybody for crafting with me today. Have a great day.